Let's go to the item number 6, the board objectives and policies. So we have on the table 6.1, the board policy 105, duties of the Board of Trustees. It's been revised already, and it is on the second reading. So, seek a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
We had the comment brought by the faculty member. Do we want to consider adding to the paragraph 11 or item 11 on there as was proposed?
That's certainly possible. It's up to the person who made the motion and the second person.
I'm fine with the way it is.
Okay, did you
We
make
did
the
this at the last meeting, so,
Okay. Did you make the motion?
yes.
Who seconded it?
I did.
You okay with it?
I'm fine with the way it is. I think we address ethics and other issues in all of our policies, so.
Okay. Roll call.
Ms. Spada?
Aye.
Ms. Paul?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Dr. Kerrigan?
Aye.
Ms. Kashgarian? Dr. Griffin?
Aye.
Ms. Howland?
Aye.
Mrs. Oshliger?
Aye.
Policy 911, use of college facilities. It's been revised as well. And we'll seek a motion to approve this tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Comments, questions?
Well, I kind of have questions because I called Dr. Weber about this just because when I was reading through it and I realized it's the second reading, if I go to the second page where it's the paragraph, the full paragraph talks about use of the facilities and how you have to be sponsored. I mean, reading through this, it looks to me like our facilities aren't really going to be available for users outside of the college unless you're a not-for-profit, and I just really think that's the wrong approach. I think that we have facilities here that we could make available for corporate or individual purposes, and why not? So I think that we should expand on this policy and we should expand on our approach.
So we, Gina and I had talked a little bit about it, and then I talked with David a little bit about the policy. Do you want to comment on it, Gina?
Sure. If I can tell you about the genesis of this paragraph and then how I don't think it limits us as much, but you may all disagree. And we had Bob Rose firm review this. This began with having, well, I guess it's been going on for a number of years, individuals mostly, just setting up shop in our hallways, selling knockoff purses, knockoff posters. They would tell people that they were there for fundraising when in fact no one even knew why they were there, because we're an open building in a public building. So knowing that we can't just tell someone they can't come on our campus, we have to have policies, rules, and procedures. We had a group get together and talk about this from all across the college that use all of the facilities. It was determined that it would be hard, it would be easier to say that not-for-profits, because we have a public mission here. So everyone agreed with that. There was a lot of discussion about what is for-profit selling on campus. So what the group came to consensus on was that it would be okay as long as it was sponsored by someone. So that could be WPDI. We have a health fair here, for example, where we have a number of private for-profit businesses come and set up a table, but it's sponsored by our wellness department, no. Karen's area.
Sounds like
2 words.
Finance department.
Our health clinic, our health center?
Health center.
We did have discussions about, in the future, particularly as the master plan pieces of it get completed, like the cafeteria, which I expect to be a beautiful space, as well as the main lobby, that those could be open for larger rentals, everything from weddings to what have you. That also includes Lakeshore. The top floor, we prepared it to do that. So we do want to have a discussion about that further. As I talked to Jerry about this a number of times, our main competitor in that would be the University Center. They very aggressively and have staff devoted to just doing that, go after that kind of business. So I'm not opposed to compete. Someone might call it partnering with University Center, but I don't think that this would prohibit us from putting together something like that as long as it was tied to a college department.
Yeah, the way I read this, it doesn't sound like it completely excludes any commercial entity for any particular reason. It just says that a college department or recognized student organization could be a sponsor. And I wouldn't think that would be very hard if whoever the commercial entity was is doing something that's beneficial to the community. It's not going to be hard to get a sponsor here, I wouldn't think.
Well, what I was thinking of too is that when you go to the lumber center for productions, you see right in the program that it says that our facilities are available for rental. So that's like our probably largest space, and it says it's available for rental, and I'm thinking, okay, but wait till we get to the policy, and then you've got to be sponsored, and how is that consistent? So I'm not so sure that all this is really as thought out as it could be. Because I also think that, obviously, I would consider a charge that would be different for not-for-profits than would be for a for-profit organization. But I do think we need a clearly thought-out facilities usage policy. I also saw at the end of this, where it talks about at the end, there's this language that approved applications for use of college facilities are subject to immediate cancellation if it becomes necessary to use the facilities for college purposes. You're thinking, that's nice, no notice? I mean, I could understand in an emergency, but don't put something in like that without, you can't cancel people that have booked a plate. I mean, the way this says it,
Well, it is for emergencies, but it is recognition that our number one priority at this campus are our students, not outside groups.
well, clearly.
And so that something could happen that I would not have control over, that we would have to move students for whatever reason, have to move them into a space, and it gives me legal cover to say, obviously I wouldn't be capricious with doing something like that. But,
Well, do you want us to take another run at this language, a couple pieces there?
That's just my thoughts, so maybe everyone doesn't agree. but
Motion's
that's
on the
my
table.
concerns.
Okay. If we want to do that, then we need to retract the
I
motion.
mean, even if we do put this policy forward and agree to it tonight, you did say that we would take another run at it as far as the commercial, especially after we build a cafeteria and see if we would like be renting that out for weddings or big events or something and compete with the university side, which I think is perfectly fine.
And we can also address it in brochures in a clearer way too, in whatever we do in WPI or those other areas for rentals too.
yeah, we had the lumber center involved in development of this, and I think almost exclusively what they do, those that are for-profit where an entertainer earns money, they sponsor, but they make themselves available for rental to groups in the community. Dance recitals, plays.
A lot of dance recitals.
Okay.
We're gonna have, we're starting to write procedures for every single one of our policies now, and we have a draft procedure that is in much greater detail than this, and even have a schedule of fees. Because that's also had been another problem as well with marketing full cost recovery, that we have a large event and charge $75 and I had 10 to 15 custodians helping set up and so that's another practice we wanted to try to address.
Roll call.
Ms. Smata?
Aye.
Ms. Paul?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Dr. Kerrigan?
Aye.
Ms. Kashgarian?
Aye.
Dr. Griffin?
Aye.
Ms. Holland?
Aye.
Mrs. O'Shauger?
Aye.